Hello everyone and welcome to our paint calm on a Friday. I've really been into my florals at the moment, so that's what we're going to be doing today. And I've just started out in my Viviva Colours sketchbook, and I've just done 3 overlapping circles. I used this as a kind of a template, and then I've done 3 circles in the middle, and that's where our flowers are going to go, and then we're going to have some leaves coming out and around them. So inspiration for this has come from the Aguarella Floral Royal Talons Van Gogh watercolour set that I have just here. It's a set that includes a little booklet, it includes paints, it includes paint brushes and watercolour paper. And I have a separate video on that that came out, let me just check, I think it came out yesterday. Bear with, yes, that came out yesterday, so Thursday. So you will have seen that set that I've done a little review on. These are the lovely colours that are in this set. So that's what I'm going to be using. And so that I can see what colours I've got, and so as you can see which ones I'm using, I'm actually just going to use this as my little mixing palette. Normally I would be using this. So that's the Van Gogh Aquarella Floral palette that I'm going to be using. My brushes that I've pulled out are the Escoda size 10 and 8. They're the Escoda, well actually this one, yeah, Escoda Perla. They're both Escoda Perla. Now I'm gonna, whilst I've been talking, hopefully you've been able to draw out your 3 circles with your little circles in the middle. I don't think there's any other materials that I'm going to be using today. I am just going to use this putty rubber. I think that's what they're called. Doesn't say on here. Just so that I can reduce. Obviously, I've done that quite darkly. Well, it's quite dark on my page. It looks lighter on screen, but it is actually quite dark. So I'm just going to reduce some of that by using this putty rubber and just pressing so that I haven't got such strong lines going on. Just turn that over. So you can barely see that. If I hold it up, you can see that I can still see quite a bit there. So we've got our 3 circles, and we're going to start by doing our flowers. Now you can choose whatever colour you would like to use. I think I'm going to go with some pinks. So I'm going to mix up a little bit of the quinacridone rose. Obviously you can choose blues if you want. You don't have to use the colours that I'm using. I'm going to have some that's on its own, and then I want some that has maybe got more of a peachy tone. Let's add some of this azo yellow so that it changes it slightly. And then maybe we'll have, we've got 3 flowers here, maybe we'll have one where we add a little bit of cerulean and we get a slightly kind of mauvey pink. So I've got 3 different pinks to do my flowers with. Now, before I start, let's just have a little bit of a practice on what we're going to do. So obviously I'm doing this so that you can see. We wouldn't normally have it like this. So let's just take our quinacridone rose, and it's going to be pointy going into the center, and then we're just going to let that feather out, and you could just go over your and you might want to you know, turn it around as you go. So this is our little practice run, if you like, and hopefully you can all see that I've got a point in the center. It's like a triangle, really. So that we get this kind of effect. Maybe I can fit one more in there. So there we've got our flower, and we can either wait till that dries or we can put our center in. Let's be brave and put our center in, and we won't worry if it kind of bleeds everywhere. What we could do is just add a little bit of interest into the bottom of each flower, so that we are getting something pretty going on. So that's basically how we're going to be doing our flowers. I've kind of emphasized it here so that we've got these triangles, but you could round them off a little bit so that they kind of meet in the middle there. Okay, hopefully that's given you an idea of how we're going to be doing our flowers, and you can leave some white spaces as well. So yet again, I'm going to start off now on my real one, shall we say, and I'm just going to get this first one in, and there is my first. So it is a triangle, but it's kind of rounded at the end, and I might well be moving my page around in order to do this. So hopefully you can see what I'm doing. I'm sorry to have to move my paper around, but it's kind of the best way for me to be able to do this. Otherwise my shapes kind of go wrong. Right, get it up the right way. So you'll see that there are a few little white spaces that I've left, and that's absolutely fine. I'm not going to do the bit in the middle yet. I'm going to move on to my next flower. So let's mix a little bit more of this up. Okay, there we go. And then we can start putting our next one in. And just moving round again. And then maybe we'll get one more in there like that. So now I have a couple of my flowers. Now let's just add a bit more to this. Oh, that's gone too blue. And now we've got more of a purple going on. And we'll just do the same thing and get these lovely, bright, beautiful flowers in. Let me move myself around. Where's my colour gone? There you are. Some of you might not need to turn your page, but I'm just finding that that really works so much better for me. Oops, up the wrong way. So there we go. We have got our 3 flowers, which is the beginnings of our floral design. So hopefully you're all okay with that. Now we could take, where we've already mixed up some other colours, we could just dab. So I'm adding a little bit of this colour into this one, not everywhere. We can add a little bit. Nearly run out of this purple, but that's fine. We only want a hint. A little bit of purple in that one. And what do we want in that one? A bit of this magenta, just in the bottom here, dotted about a bit, so that we've got a little bit of each colour in each one, almost. Just giving it a little bit more depth, if you like. So now we need to think about our leaves. So let me just move that one out of the way. I am going to use Viridian. Just going to clean a space on there as the bottom layer. So this is going to be my bottom layer of leaves, the leaves that are underneath the other leaves, so to speak. So let's get some of those in. And I want it to be quite watered down because these are the leaves that are underneath. So I'm just going to do some shapes, and they might run into the flowers a little bit, but that's all okay. And I might even fill in those gaps a little bit so that we can. So we've got a couple of leaves there. We'll have one more because we all know how I like my 3s. I'm going to let that one go into a point. And then we'll have some coming out over here, I think. And we'll just fill that in a bit there. And we'll have that one quite big leaf there. So we've got our, and then we need one more at the top here, I think. That's definitely bleeding in, but that's all right. And we'll have one coming around there. And then maybe we'll have one coming out there. These are just the underneath leaves in any case. And now we do have to let that dry. So I'm going to be getting my heat gun out, and you might need to get a hairdryer or a heat gun or something like that. I'm just going to quickly dry this. Okay, so that's dry enough. Now we're going to mix up a deeper, darker green, and we're going to put those on top of the greens that we've already done. So I'm still going to keep my Viridian so that the colour ties in a little bit. Let's add Prussian blue and see what happens. Yeah. So I guess mine is probably more of a tealy colour, but I'm going with that. I'm happy with that. So now let's get our darker leaves to go on the top. And I might have to mix a bit more of this, to be honest, but we'll see. And I'm just cutting in where I've got those flowers there. And then let's do one that goes around there. Just get a bit more of a point on that one. Okay, there we go. Might need to mix some more of this up. What did I mix? Meridian and Prussian blue, wasn't it? Okay, there we go. We've got a little bit more of that. Now let's do our ones over the top here. And maybe we'll have a small one there. And then we'll have one coming out there. And maybe one that's in there. So I think I'm going to do kind of 5 on this one instead of just 3. Kind of all overlapping there. And then maybe we'll have one here. Like so. Then one there. Maybe we'll just cut in there a little bit. Okay, that's not looking that tidy. I'm just going to tidy that up a little bit there. Okay, so now we've got kind of some leaves underneath, some leaves over the top. Now you could take some of the yellow that I used to make the more peachy colour. You could just need that bit more watery. We could just add a little bit of yellow to these darker leaves. I'm going to blend that in a bit better in a minute. It doesn't have to be all of them. So now just with my damp brush, I'm just going to blend in a bit more. Some of them are blended in quite nicely anyway. So now what we've got with our leaves is some underneath. We've got our ones on the top that we've added a little bit of our yellow to. They should be, yep, they are nice and dry for us to do our centres. And going to do those in yellow. Whatever yellow you used. So that we can get our centres in there. And then with our yellow, just going to maybe do a few dots and dashes. I think that's the word, isn't it? Dots, dashes, whatever we want to call it. So that we are echoing the yellow somewhere else. And there we go. Not a particularly complicated one, I don't think. Now, if you wanted to, in fact, let's just dry this off. I'm drying this real time with you, basically, so that those of you that are wanting to paint along with me, you know, you're able to do it at the same time. I'm hoping that my microphone will cut out this loud noise. Who knows, this could be a disaster. Anyway, here we go. Right, I think that's going to be dry enough. Now, if I bring this up, my centers probably aren't quite dry, but that's okay. What we could do is add a bit more detail into these flowers. I don't really know what flowers they are. I should say the inspiration has come from this book here. So this is where I've got my inspiration from. But I think I'm going to find some pinky red. It looks like a nice pink. And what other colour shall we have? Maybe like a purple. And then one that's a bit more carmine. That'll do. Right, so what I've pulled out is a light violet, which is a Derwent Artist. I've got a Polychromos, and this is light purple pink. And then I've got a Derwent Artist Madder Carmine. So you don't have to pick the same ones as me. What we can do is just add some interest in the middle of these flowers here to give us a little bit more of something going on. Quite like that. I'll bring that up. You might not be able to see that too well. Now then, let's go with this pink for here. So there we go. We've got, and then this darker, madder one. I think this just gives some more kind of texture to everything. Okay, so let me just bring that up. It's not huge detail, it's subtle detail, I suppose you might say. We could also do something with our leaves. Let's find some green. Now then, I need something. What is this one? Malachite green, yes. So that I can just maybe add a little something there. And then I need a lighter one. And I think, where are you? There you are. This is luminance. This is light malachite green, which is just perfect. So just for those few that are sticking out, there we go. So one cheerful floral for our paint calm on a Friday. I hope that you will have a go yourselves and yeah, not stress, just see what happens. Don't think we can go too far wrong with something like this, and it's just cheerful and happy colours. So until I see you next time, please stay safe, stay healthy, and stay calm, and have a good evening, afternoon, or morning, wherever you are in the world and whatever time it is that you're watching this. As always, I just want to say thank you so much for watching and joining me.